Howdy, y'all, and welcome to the EEARSS Podcast. I am Alligator Rob. I am joined today by Mr. Bill Curtis. Howdy, Mr. Bill. How are you?
I am good, Frank. How you doing?
Pretty good. We are negative a Cindy today.
Yes, we are minus a Cindy today.
Yeah, we definitely miss you, Cindy, but it happens.
Just to satisfy my curiosity before we get too much further, AJ, did we press record? Okay, cool.
That is an important part of the equation.
Just wanted to make sure.
How's your week been going, buddy?
It's been a long week. It's been a tiring week. Did the astronaut football game, recorded that, and then did the UCF.
I hate that I missed that.
UCF Cincinnati game, which was very exciting. Went down to the last 3 minutes of the game.
Did UCF play a good game?
Yes, they did, and they won. And they broke into the top 25 now.
Wow.
In the nation. So that's all good things.
Only up from there, right?
Yep.
Lord willing, only up from there.
Yep.
Yeah, I spent the weekend. Myself and Keith Winston from the Brevard Zoo went for a paddle and caught some snakes and had some fun. And I don't think anybody even shared any lipstick. Yeah, I think we were lipstick free.
Your idea of fun, going out.
I know it's kind of twisted, but I mean it's my kind of twisted.
And you're doing it in the daytime, right?
It was a blast. Yeah.
Okay, so you're in the daytime, and you're just out. Now, do you reach out and grab a snake?
Yeah, they're there, and
you don't get it in a net or something.
No, you just reach out and pick them up.
Just reach out and pick them up.
Yeah, it's
an fun.
Energy thing. Honest to goodness, it's an energy thing with any animal. If you reach out calmly and pick them up, and if you get grabby with them, they get grabby with you. If you reach out calmly and pick them up, then you're just hey, look, I'm hanging out with a snake, and then everybody plays with snakes. Next thing you're covered in snakes, and then the snakes go, and it's just
again, I'm telling you, man, your idea of fun, my idea of fun.
It's funny you say that because yesterday I get an erratic call from Ernie. He said, "Frank, what are you doing?" I said, "I'm just got to the house to have lunch. What's going on?" "Drop what you're doing, come to the shop." I said, "Okay." It's is there something alarming going on? Yes. Stop talking about it. Drop what you're doing. Come to the shop. I said, okay. My buddy runs an automotive shop in Port St. John. So get there, and he goes, "That car right there, it's been sitting for 5 years. When you pop the hood, there's going to be animals underneath it. Please catch them." And I said, "Well, what kind of animals am I supposed to be ready for here, Ernie? What's going on?" He goes, "There's at least one possum, if not two. They're really large." And I said, "Oh, cool. I love possums. Sure. Okay, I got it." So we popped the hood. They had stored all this stuff underneath the hood of this truck. It was an old SUV, rather. They had, leaves and pine needles and everything stuck in there. And
right, okay.
You open it up, and the dude's he's laying there. He's just unconscious, taking a nap, just loving the day. It was, I thought it was pretty neat, but just grabbed him by the tail, stuck him in a bucket. And
now, I've heard that possums, they won't bite you.
You can't really even make a possum bite you. Yeah, they're all act. It's all act. There's nothing else to it other than an act.
Okay,
yeah, it's just grab them by the tail, or you can grab them by the scruff of the neck like a puppy almost, and you can put them where you want to put them. They're super soft, very lovable little guys.
Okay, lovable is not the adjective I would.
Everybody's got their thing.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Everybody's got their thing.
Absolutely.
Anyhow, I digress.
Of course,
it was time to digress as normal. You ready to get into our guest of today?
Let's do it.
So today on the podcast, we are joined by the president of the Titusville Chamber of Commerce, Mrs. Oh my garage.
Wow. I'm so glad this is not live.
I'm still thinking about possums. Mrs. Erin Van Dyke, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, really appreciate you being here. Tell us a little bit about you and how you got to be to the point where you're at now, being the president of the Titusville Chamber of Commerce.
Sure. So I actually started my journey into nonprofits back in 2019. I was solicited by the previous president of the Titusville Chamber to come and be her director of operations.
Okay.
It was quite an interesting ride navigating nonprofit world during the pandemic, to say the least.
Yeah.
I had about 3 working months before the world shut down. And our chamber had to adapt and overcome, and I'm very proud of the team we had, and very fortunate to have learned under the leadership that I did. But earlier this year, our president has moved on to bigger and better things in her life, and ultimately I was selected to be her replacement.
Awesome. For those who don't know, explain what the role of the Chamber of Commerce is.
So the chamber is a lot of different things in a lot of different ways. Number one, we support a prosperous community. That's a very broad statement, so drilling that down a little, we encourage new business to grow in this area. We support businesses that are already in this area, and we support the community, the members at large. So our scope of work is very broad and touches a lot of different areas.
So let's say there's someone who's just starting up a business and they want to come to you and say, look, I have this business. How can the Chamber of Commerce help me?
So the Chamber can help a new business by, one, connecting them with some of our partners like Groundswell and SCORE, particularly to help you build a business plan, make sure that you're starting off from the right place. We have a lot of entrepreneurs out there, and gosh love all of the entrepreneurs out there, but sometimes their bite is bigger than their bark, right? So they're not quite ready, but they've got a great idea and need a great mentor that's out there to help them make that dream a reality. And through the Chamber, we offer those kinds of services complimentary.
Awesome.
We would also help you market and advertise your business and help you make connections with other business owners, right? It takes a village. We've all heard that expression more than one time. The Chamber is no different. We all need support. We all need someone else who understands what we're going through, and that's what the Chamber offers you.
Okay. Yeah, that's a big resource without a doubt. I know recently, just over the past couple of weeks, we here at EEARSS are now members of the Titusville Chamber of Commerce.
Yes, they are.
Oh, very good.
Indeed, yeah. It was an easy choice to make. It's very affordable. What's it cost for a business to join?
So a nonprofit is $125 annually. A home-based business is $240 annually, and then a brick-and-mortar base starts at $325, and then we have packages from there.
So tell us a little bit about the different marketing programs you guys have going on. I know you have different little meetings you guys meet with and different things you do every month. Some of the things seem like they're weekly, some seem like they're monthly, some maybe quarterly or annually. Tell us a little bit about that.
So it is a rotating door over at the Chamber of Commerce. We have several committees, so everyone has their different areas of interest. Our chamber tries to provide something for each of them. So we have a governmental affairs committee. So if advocacy and policy is up your alley, that's the committee you'd want to be a part of. We have an education committee. We are the only chamber left in the county with an education committee with a sole focus on our youth. We have a tourism development committee. We have a membership development committee.
Wow.
We're also governed by a board of directors.
Okay.
We have lots of committees and all kinds of ways to get involved. From an event side of things, monthly we offer a midday networking lunch that happens on the second Wednesday every month. We do an after hours networking event, and we also do a new member orientation breakfast event.
Those are a lot of events and a lot of committees and a lot of things going on. How in the world do you keep all that balanced?
With a good staff, a good team, and lots of good volunteers.
Okay. That's a great answer. So you're from here in Titusville, yes?
I am. I was born and raised here.
So tell us a little bit about your life here in Titusville, your background with education and work, and then again, how you kind of ended up here where you're at.
So my family actually ended up in Titusville when my grandfather came to be head coach here at Titusville High School. So Coach O'Brien, as many would know out there, was here for quite a long time and made quite the mark on many people that we know in this community. I in turn went to Titusville High, graduated class of 2005. I was actually set to go into the military. Was going to go in the Coast Guard, but other people had other plans. Mm-hmm. So I stayed rooted here in Titusville and actually went to work in the hospitality industry.
Wow.
So I am a certified director of sales with Marriott International, and I worked for a great organization called HDG Hotels. They're based out of Ocala and had 17 hotels regionally that I managed sales for, and ended up opening the Town Place Suites out at 95 and 50, if you're familiar, and joined the chamber, and that's how I segued in.
Yes, I know those places very well.
Yeah, they're great.
Yeah, Coach O'Brien was my homeroom teacher when I was a freshman.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
He was. I think that was his last year here, and I remember me and you talking about this. I remember the first time I ever came into his class as a homeroom teacher. He goes, "Frank Robb, did your dad go to school here?" And I said, "Yeah." He graduated here in 1972. He's like, "Remember your dad?" And I'm like, "How bizarre is that? That's like, holy moly, that's crazy." And I remember my dad saying, "Hey, when you go back to school, ask him about his ring on his finger. And I said, his ring on his finger? He's like, yeah, how could you miss it? Ask him about it. And he had a championship ring from the Steelers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Before the Super Bowl, when it was actually just the AFC Championship, I believe.
Yes, correct. So he was he's from Jeanette, Pennsylvania originally, and was went to the University of Florida on a full football scholarship. He was captain of the first ever Gator Bowl team.
Wow.
Drafted from there to the Pittsburgh Steelers. He played for four or 5 years there. Ended up from there on a Canadian league. Played 7 years on a Canadian league, and then ended up as the defensive coordinator at Texas A&M for several years. Then made his way to Florida, where he took Boone High School over in Orlando to their first state championship, and from Boone came over here to Titusville, and he was coach before Warnicki.
Talking about a distinguished career.
Oh yeah.
I still have I have a ruler at my house that my dad had. This yellow ruler that was from the 1972 football team here that was coached by him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'll have to see if I can come up with that.
I have about 70 of those rulers. So
Do you?
Yeah,
So you know what I'm talking
there's
about.
a whole bunch
Oh, you
of
know
them.
what I'm talking about.
We have footballs, we have trophies, we have all kinds of different memorabilia from
That's awesome.
the times that he coached balls, from Cocoa Titusville games, signed by everybody on the team. Most recently, with the passing of Lewis Sanders, we gave one of those footballs to his family, as he was a proud member of that team.
That's a beautiful thing.
It is beautiful. It was very, very heartwarming when he passed in 2016, how many of his former students came to pay their respects.
I had no idea. I'm very sorry for you and your family's loss, for sure. Looking at that now, you have that amazing family background. What's it like to make this journey and then be back here in Titusville again, doing what you're doing?
It feels really good to give back to a community that gave so much to my family. I look forward to the growth that I can have here and watch the community flourish again. I think a lot of us, even as young as I am, can remember kind of how our town diminished at the fall of the space program, and how we've been dependent for so many years on federal dollars to, are we sending people to space? Are we not? What's the election look like? And all these other things that go into those decisions. And now we're not. We're launching more rockets in 1 week than I can remember seeing in my entire life, and it's not slowing down. And thank you to the commercial and private sector of things, it's not going to stop. So our town's going to continue to grow. This town's going to see some things they've never seen before, and have only been dirty rumors in the upcoming months. I can promise you that.
Wow, that's a lot too.
Yeah. And it's got to be cool for you. I mean, growing up here, and you know the community, the place, and to be at the center of that, of the business community, and kind of being able to help that take off. That's got to be kind of cool.
It is really cool. One of the great things is that Titusville is so resilient. We've shown over and over again how we can bounce back from whatever the challenge may be and still stand strong and stand unified. And it feels good. It feels good on the inside to be a part of that.
I was just thinking, I remember that news story that they did back on the old Miracle City Mall, and at the shutdown of the shuttle program and all that. Yeah, and it was gloom and doom.
Yes, it was.
And now, golly, it's taken off.
Yes, it is. And there's no end in sight.
Mm-hmm.
I brought you guys the latest edition of the Titusville Talking Points.
Wow.
Okay.
Are we familiar with the talking points
yes.
at
I am,
the table?
for sure.
If we scroll to the back of the talking points today, we see at least 48 business licenses out and active, the most the city has ever seen active at one point in time.
Oh, wow. Okay. I
That's
love that
a huge
thing.
statement.
I always
That's
look
a
at that
huge
thing
statement.
to see what's being built and what's coming, and yeah, it's
There's a lot. There's a lot going on. A lot of homes, which shows you a lot of people have interest in this area.
right.
A lot of new retail stores, some
Mhm.
branded stores.
Some branded stores.
Can't say more.
See, she's
Can't say
teasing
more.
us. She can't
Those
say
NDAs.
anything.
Yeah, you got to leave
Okay.
it. You got to
Yep.
leave it. People wanting more. That's a good thing.
That's right.
For those, so I didn't learn this until recently. The Titusville Chamber of Commerce covers a lot more than just the city of Titusville.
That is correct. So we actually cover everything north of 528 would be our quote unquote service area.
Okay.
So from an education piece, every school that's in North Brevard, every community that's in North Brevard, every business that's in North Brevard.
Okay.
If there's businesses out there that want to, so let's look at it from this way. Say there's businesses out there. Say there's a business in Port St. John or Cocoa that is not part of a chamber of commerce, and obviously they should be because of just the benefits in general. What are your selling points? Say I'm walking to you right now and say, hey, I want to be a member of the Chamber of Commerce, possibly. What's in it for me?
So there's not a short answer to that. There's not one selling point to that.
We got time.
We got time. We got time. The question to that I would ask is, what do you need? Are you a business that needs advertising? Here's what I have to offer. Are you a business that wants to put back into the community you belong to? Here's what I have to offer.
Okay. So there's multiple layers to that.
Correct.
You got to peel the onion, basically.
You have to ask a little deeper questions than that.
Mm-hmm.
To answer the question specifically, what would they gain from outside of Titusville if they were in one of those smaller areas like Port St. John is the business.
Yeah.
You can't market to a community if they don't know you exist.
True.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely.
Valid point. What if someone wants to join the chamber, what are ways they can get hold of you guys?
So they can visit our website 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at www.titusville.org. They can call our offices Monday through Friday from 9 to 5, or they can stop in. We are wide open and in person and accepting new members and just guests and visitors all the time.
Yeah. I would encourage people to stop in and chat with you all. It's a fun experience.
And we have some really neat stuff in there. I have people that come in and they're like, I've lived here forever and I've never come inside here, so I just wanted to see what you have. We have maps, we have swag, we have T-shirts for sale, business advertisements. Plus, we're really fun to talk to.
No doubt about it. There's things to learn. I love surrounding myself by people that know more about things than I do, which is pretty much everybody.
No.
Everybody, unless we're talking reptiles, then, I can kind of hold my own. But
do you remember when you asked me to come here and I said, I don't know anything about alligators, Rob. Walk in zigzags, force down, not up. That's about all I got for you.
Oh, it's hilarious. You did say that. I'm like, this is not what's going on here. But yeah, I appreciate that for sure. So I gave you some homework.
Yes, you did.
All right.
Look, I have a sheet of paper.
I love it. So what did you go with, a broad spectrum of stuff, or did you pick a topic, or how did you go with what you chose to go with?
A little bit of both. So I did some chamber trivia, of course, because that's why we're here.
Makes sense.
So Absolutely. We'll start there. So
I like it.
How old is the Titusville Chamber?
I would imagine it was probably
I'd say 60s.
Yeah, space program, early space program.
I'm going to go 62.
Yeah,
that's about when the space program started.
64.
Final answers?
I'm saying 62.
We are 99 years old.
Ooh,
whoa.
We are turning 100 in 2023.
No way.
We are. Okay.
So
if you
who was the first member?
I couldn't tell you the first member. That's a good counter question. Yeah. I will find out and I will follow up.
Yeah, I would like to know that, to be honest with you.
So if you're out there and you have a talking point on page 6, you'll see a lovely celebrating 100 years of the Titusville Chamber and all the different things that we have planned.
I should have read up.
You should have done
I
homework.
looked through it yesterday when I was up there, but I did, or day before yesterday when I was up there, I looked through it, but I must have just glanced over it.
Yep.
I dropped the ball.
So we are planning a whole year worth of celebrations for everybody to get involved, regardless if you're a member or just a community member. We want to see you out there. We want to celebrate our 100 years with you, and we'll wrap up all of our smaller events with a big gala, Roaring 20s themed in November of next year.
Wow.
Oh, cool.
Very neat.
Man, at Valiant Air Command.
Oh, okay.
100 years.
100 years.
And I imagine whenever... Do you know who started the Titusville Chamber of Commerce?
I do not. We're still in our research phases of all this history, but we know we're 100.
I would imagine it's probably a conglomerate of businesses that came together to make it.
Sure.
I would imagine.
Well, that would have been, okay, so 1923, the Roaring 20s.
The hardware store, probably.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Florida hadn't been, really a state for, maybe 50 years then?
Maybe.
Yeah, because in the 1870s. Mm-hmm. Well, Titusville came around in the 1870s.
So let's ask this. How was Titusville named? I've heard some controversial answers to this question.
We've actually went over this one on the show before.
Wasn't it a dominoes game?
It was cards or dominoes. It goes back and forth. And the story was that General Titus beat whatever the guy's name was, and he named it after himself or something along those lines, right?
That is what I was told as well, a Domino's game. But then I had someone in the most recent time come to me and tell me that was not true, but could not provide me another story.
I've heard cards and I've heard dominoes. I've heard it both ways. Most of the people that I've ever heard tell the story, or I've read it in, said dominoes.
I've seen the sign down by the, across from the tower there. There's a sign that says this is the location of where the inn was or whatever.
What tower?
Really?
No, that
Chain of
over
Lakes?
on the river. No. Over on the river, up by the bank there, near Veterans Memorial Park.
Okay.
In there, and you've got.
No kidding.
There's a sign.
Yeah, there's a sign there behind.
I didn't know there was a sign.
Behind the the businesses that are there on Washington.
On Main.
Main
and Washington.
And you got the parking behind it, and then at the back of that parking lot, there's a tree, and there's kind of a round. Where the sidewalk's kind of round, and there's a sign there.
I know right what you're talking about.
I do too. Now I have to go look for a
sign.
sign.
There's a sign, yeah.
Huh.
Interesting.
And it says something about that. This is the location of where the building was. That particular the game
the
took
porch
place.
of the game.
Right. Yeah.
I'd like to know what the winning hand of dominoes was too, or what the winning point total was.
There you go.
Yeah, simple things.
Simple.
I don't want to know the complicated stuff by any means.
Right.
Yeah, let's keep it simple.
Simple. All right. So my next question is, how many members does the Titusville Chamber have today?
I think I was just told this one.
Okay.
I think she just told us this one a minute ago.
I don't know.
She said there were 45 business. Oh, so no, I take that right. That was new businesses at Titusville. So yeah, I don't know. There's 45 new businesses at Titusville, and the chamber's 100 years old. I feel like it's not a mathematical problem at all. So I don't think it makes any difference. I don't even know what I'm saying now. I'm rambling.
You are rambling.
You are rambling. There's no mathematical equation.
I'm going to say 100.
I'm
going to say 160.
160.
I'd say 350.
350?
Oh yeah. There's a lot of businesses in town, dude.
That you think? Okay.
And the chamber, the whole networking thing, and yeah.
Yeah, I got to keep in mind it's more than just Titusville too. It's Titusville.
Right.
It's from 528 North.
Do you want to change your answer?
I'll say 200.
509.
See, I wanted to go 400, because I was figured the business license be about 10% and go, but I didn't want to stretch it. I should have.
Any idea who the longest tenured member is right now?
No.
Because that would be an interesting one too.
I can find that answer out for you and let you know.
Yeah, that would be an interesting one.
I would bet you it's the city of Titusville. If I had to guess, the city of Titusville is our longest member.
That kind of makes sense.
Yep.
That kind of makes sense. I wonder what the longest non-governmental organization is besides the city of Titusville.
We'll find out.
Yeah, okay, I'm curious.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I'm curious.
We'll follow up.
Yeah, what kind of business?
Okay, so we have 509 members. So how many staff members does the chamber have?
Oh, I was on their website today, and I've
met a couple of y'all. I'm going to say it's fairly low. I'm going to say 5.
I'm thinking 5.
4.
See,
okay. Yeah, 4 staff members.
Yeah. Let's see, I can think of 3 of y'all that I've met, so I was just kind of guessing maybe there was 2 people hiding somewhere I didn't know about.
And we are governed by a board of 24 directors, volunteer directors in the community.
Okay.
Wow. 24.
Our chairman of the board for the remainder of this year and next year is Miss Edna Wilson with Celebrate Real Estate.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Miss Wilson is one of our sponsors for our upcoming event.
She's a beautiful person.
Yeah, she seems like a real sweetheart for sure.
Yes, very passionate about Titusville and North Brevard.
Yeah, she's a donator to the Titusville High School football team too, I believe.
Oh,
and
I've said her name plenty of times.
Yep, she has a really great YouTube series, 52 Things to Do in Titusville. So every week she takes you somewhere different in Titusville and does a video about why you should go and visit.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Things I didn't know.
Did not know.
Maybe we're gonna have to kidnap Miss Edna Wilson sometime.
There you go.
I'll send her your way. Official chamber business.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah. Let's do that. That's a great idea. I had no idea. Huh. Things you learn.
Okay, so now we're going to move to my off-the-wall questions.
Okay, here we go.
Off the wall questions.
Okay, what president was a licensed bartender?
What president was a licensed bartender?
Yep.
Grover Cleveland.
No, I'm thinking Harry Truman.
Harry Truman, Grover Cleveland. That's final answers.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Abraham Lincoln.
Really?
Abraham Lincoln
So
was.
Abraham
Okay.
Lincoln opened a general store when he was 23 years old, and it became a tavern in 1833, and they sold pints of beer for 12 cents each, and his business license for that bar cost him $7.
Okay. Wow.
That's an interesting fact. Huh. Okay.
So Abraham Lincoln was
Abraham Lincoln.
was a
Abraham
licensed
Lincoln.
bartender.
And what state was that in? Do you know?
In Illinois.
I would assume it was
Illinois, yeah.
Mhm.
That's
He was
easy.
In his
born
hometown,
Kentucky, and then
Or
the family
where
moved,
he lived forever.
moved to Illinois. Yeah.
Let's say, I would be guessing Illinois.
Yep.
Mhm.
Interesting.
Land of Lincoln.
It always goes back to Illinois somehow.
See?
Everything seems to.
Your whole life. It's
Yeah.
all to Illinois.
Are you from Illinois?
No, ma'am. I'm born and raised right here.
Oh, okay.
Born and raised in Port St. John.
Oh, okay.
No, but you know the whole Chicago thing. And
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a thing.
I have family in Illinois. So
you?
yes. Yes.
Interesting.
Everybody does. Somewhere along the
That's
line.
true.
Somewhere-
That's
somewhere.
true.
Somewhere along
everything,
the line.
everything links back there somehow. No doubt about it.
Okay, so my last question.
Okay, last question.
I gave you the fun one. So this one is just a fun fact. How many species live in the Indian River Lagoon?
Ooh.
I had to take it to an animal place for you.
Let's say I can tell you how many protected or endangered species are on the Maryland National Wildlife Refuge, because there's more than any other refuge in the world.
But that's not the question.
I know, but yeah, now
You just want to show off that you know something.
I like flip-flops. Okay, so hit me with the question one more time.
How many species live in the Indian River Lagoon?
So are we talking vertebrates, invertebrates, mammals,
Species, period.
all of it?
Species.
So, like, would birds count? Because birds
no,
are
live in the
live
lagoon.
in the lagoon. Okay, so
Okay, so we're talking everything from
Underwater.
shrimp,
underwater.
all
okay.
of it.
Shrimp.
Mammals too, like
yeah.
otters, all that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah, otters, dolphins,
Manatee.
Dear goodness gracious.
manatees. Yeah.
Sharks.
Take a guess.
Alligators.
Sharks,
Alligators.
Yeah, you got a guess?
2,000?
2,000. Wow.
2,000. Yeah,
Wow.
I think it's a lot more than that.
Wow.
I mean, think about it. There's all these little microorganisms. If we're thinking about everything, I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
dear goodness gracious, it's gotta be
What
hundreds
about
of
now?
thousands.
Here's something that's always that the bioluminescent thing.
Yeah.
Is that alive, or is that plant?
Yes.
Yeah, it's
Thanks.
both.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Appreciate
all
that.
the above. Yes.
Now it's
Yes.
clear.
Yes.
I now understand it all.
Yes.
It's
Thanks.
a mixture of all the things.
Okay.
It's, I think
That was
some
very
people,
descriptive.
some people claim. I'm gonna
was.
start making funny voices again. It's a mixture of phytoplankton, I believe, and phosphorus or phosphates.
Okay, so the phytoplankton, would that be a species that
Come on,
lives?
guys. I found you a tangible
in-
answer to this trivia
You
question.
did.
No, I'm
That's
going to
okay.
say
nothing much deeper.
hundreds of thousands.
Okay.
Because I mean, if we're looking at microorganisms on up, and then little things in the sand and stuff, it's got to be hundreds of thousands.
12,000, I'm just saying.
517.
517.
517
Now,
is the number
she's
on
talking about species now.
species.
She's not talking about individual organisms.
Right, I know. I'm
You
just
know.
thinking
species.
species in
Species.
general. I figured it would have been
Okay.
hundreds of different thousands, but
517.
maybe I'm overthinking it.
517.
You are
Must
overthinking.
Be, must be
But that's
overthinking
okay.
it.
Hold on, let's get you a tissue.
I'll wipe it off on my beard.
Okay, good.
Oh, Lord.
Oh,
So
goodness.
if people want to get hold of you at the Chamber of Commerce, what's the website?
It's Titusville.org.
Okay.
Our phone number is 321-267-3036, and we are located at 2000 South Washington Avenue,
Yeah, right here by Titusville High School.
right between Titusville High School and Taco Bell, the best of both worlds.
There we go. There we go.
Yeah, so you can come by and help your business out and have a taco to make your stomach feel better.
That's right. Sure.
Yeah, something like that, right?
Something like
Yep.
that.
Something like
Yep.
that.
Something like that.
Oh, Lord, thank you so much for joining us today. We really appreciate you having you here. Bill, you got anything else interesting going on this week?
Last football game.
That's right. That's this
And
Friday.
is this Friday, last home game, and the boys could qualify for the playoffs.
It wouldn't
state
shock
playoffs.
me. Yeah, Coach Holmes got them playing hard.
So,
we were just talking about that.
The only
Yeah.
problem with that is they'll be the lowest seed, so they'll have to travel.
There's no chance of them having a home game.
No. They'll have to travel, and they'll have to play the number one seed, and so it's an uphill battle.
I have very much enjoyed announcing the games this year.
Oh, good.
I've
I'm
got
glad.
quite a bit out of it. It's been fun.
I've enjoyed being able to video them.
Yeah, I've enjoyed harassing you when you're in the field from the microphone.
Exactly. Exactly.
You can't give me a microphone and expect me not to have some fun.
That's right.
It
You
kind of
can't.
is what
You
it
got
is
to.
at that
Yep.
point. But again, Miss Erin, thank you so much for being here. Really
Thank you.
appreciate it. Thank you all for tuning in, and we will see you all next week. Bye-bye.